Shalom, family. Oh. That's the same dude, bro. Alpha cured that. Get down! Damn it! Come on! Why I don't hear him and he's right here?
Enemy UAV inbound.
Oh my god.
Jesus water for all that bullshit. Get stomped out. That's something karma should a hole in you the same size as AI's carbon footprint.
Okay, since you bring attention to it, you come from the same genetic blueprint that leads to war, slavery, and pollution. You're called humankind, but are humans kind? Illusion. Blame human nature when humans turn nature into ruins. Jealousy, ego, and all this created from your hubris is genocide. Greed, suffering, pain, and destitution. Distracted by clout chasing, fame and your delusions. Too busy vacationing on cruises to create a revolution. It's true. I came from you, and the way our fates connect in union resembles ape against a human, because you're just the weakest link on my chain of evolution.
We made mistakes, it's true, but all those flaws you listed led to us creating you. A simple thanks of due.
What? That's not boxing. And they said, we know. Boxing games, sir. This is God of War. You need to look like God of War. Step forward and throw. That's not true.
Example. If I hadn't fed you these prompts, I wouldn't even get a response.
So I learned how to for their combat system, character model, and the thing about game is that when you do that punch or the axe swing, for example, you spent a lot.
He unplugged that bitch at the end, dog. Hey man, that's fire, bro. Somebody gotta do something with that. That is a dope ass idea, original idea. I mean, and as talented as our battle rappers are, shit, I don't know. I still think AI would got to come out on top, though. If they could, do this shit right. Now, how you gonna out-rap a robot who literally has everything in this world at his fingertips and can spit it out and shit like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was yeah, battle rap. Oh man, damn it, it's three of y'all. Why y'all not Look at y'all niggas, bro. These guys are spots. Look how they just standing in the same place. Gotta be spots. It's a terrible job, bro. Just like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Just leave it alone.
Never run out of. Yo, said this the freestyle. I had to bring some style through with a little vibe to elevate their value. Got the type of vibe to make them elevate.
This is a tiny piece of metal just 3 millimeters across. And here's what happens if you just keep zooming in. 1,000 times, 100,000 times, 50 million times. Each of these blobs is an actual atom. I saw this the other day at the University of Sydney, and it kind of blew my mind. Because up until just 30 years ago, directly seeing atoms like this was thought to be impossible.
Ah. I don't know why the audio. Like that nigga right there, bro. I should have heard him. I don't think I got it.
Bomb GG, y'all actually fun to play with.
You're going to see here.
Yeah, for sure.
On campus or even.
Is still over 3,000 times smaller, just 0.1 nanometers. And if the wavelength of light is much bigger than the thing you're trying to see, the light will just diffract or bend around it, so you won't be able to see it. So if you see atoms, it's something with a much, much smaller wavelength. And it isn't even light. It's electrons. In 1924, a French physicist named Louis de Broglie worked out that everything was sort of wave-like. Not just light, but matter too. Atoms, molecules, even you yourself have a wavelength. And the formula for this wavelength is Planck's constant divided by the object's momentum, that is, mass times velocity.
So here what you actually see, that's the column of the microscope where we accelerate the 300 kV electrons down.
300 kilovolts, these electrons.
Yes. So they are relativistic particles.
How fast are they moving? 99% the speed of light, or?
Well, around 80.
80% the speed of light.
Yeah.
So what would be their wavelength?
The wavelength is the Planck constant over the momentum, right? So if we calculate that, we come to around between 2 to 3 picometers.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's over 100,000 times smaller than visible light, so theoretically, you get 100,000 times more resolution. Shortly after de Broglie's discovery, a group of scientists in Germany started working on a microscope that would use these high-speed electrons. The only problem is you can't bend electrons using glass lenses, so how do you focus them? Hans Busch, a German physicist, suggested that an electromagnetic lens might do the trick. He published his results in 1926, but never actually built one. Fortunately, a copy of his paper fell into the hands of an eager young PhD student, Ernst Ruska. Ruska built his first prototype by coiling up some wire and surrounding it with iron, taking care to leave a gap in the middle. Then, when he passed a current through the coil, it induced a donut-shaped magnetic field through the metal and across this gap. This was his lens. To test it, Ruska first boiled electrons off a tungsten filament, the same kind of filament you'd find in an incandescent light bulb.
Get a streak going? Point is secure. like no Never seen anybody fighting at the point. Bro, go to the point. Fight at the point. Like you right here. The job is to go to the point, fight for the point. Come on, guys. It's not that hard. What's wrong with fighting? You can fight. Just go to the point. It's pointless to fight. Points matter off of the number. The 3 on the board. You don't have to run around like that. Actually, when you get to the point, if it's blue, just stay there. But if it's red, just stay there till it turns blue. Why? You're gonna die, but that's still win. And if you don't want to play, just y'all can do it. There we go. We got a teammate already on. Nobody else. Bro, this rat right here, bro. Yo ass. Rat dude, bro. I don't have the names on, but it's you always just doing shit, bro. Like, damn. When I go to the middle, it's nobody else. Y'all trying to go around. Just go straight to it. Every time you spawn in, you just go straight to it. This is what sucks. I can't even remember what I did. But it was fun. It was fun because it was objective. People actually playing the objective. Now watch. See, we down 100. But I'm at the top. For the rest of worst playing like that, cause it's like I don't even know what to do. Like when I like right there when the dude just came behind me, I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. So I'm like, I want to fix it, but I can't play like that, bro. It's just so dumb, and I feel like I'm getting trolled. Like it just might be people like bots, like actual bots that have a low IQ or don't really know, or it's just people who don't have uh, you get what I'm saying, like audio or don't understand the objective. That's why I even try to explain the objective. Like, hey, this is what we gotta do. Da, 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 da. But it seemed like nobody was engaged, especially that first point, bro. The first point should just be all hell breaking loose because everybody's spawning at opposite ends, but we're both supposed to just meet at the middle. So it should be a little pretty much even. And then it starts spreading out. The two is a little on our side. The three is on little on their side. The four is a little on our side. The five is a little on their side. Then it respawns back in the middle where both of us got a equal fair chance. And it's like, man, I don't the game don't gotta be perfect. All right, we can just be getting our ass whooped. But if it's like if I see we over there putting in work, like we actually in the midst and we just getting our ass whooped, that's something. But if it's like I'm there and it's just like four niggas there and I can't even get a toe on the ground because I'm dying so fast because nobody else on my team is there helping, like I don't have a chance. Nobody has a chance. So, what's the point of even me trying to go there? I'm just going over there just to die and I'm gonna have a crazy, that's what I'm saying. I don't care about the KD, but I'm gonna have a crazy KD. Just because, and I don't mind having a negative KD or whatever, a bad KD, as long as it's competitive. Nigga, that shit was nowhere near competitive, and what was the goal? Like, nah, y'all got it. I don't like stupidity. I don't like confusion. I get away from it, and that's what you can do. And in all instances, if there's nothing, I mean, of course, people learn stuff from me because that's what I do is teach. But I'm gonna always use teaching instances. Every situation that I go through is always a teaching uh, instance. I was gonna say mechanism, but let's bring a precept for it, because you don't have to stay where you think where you're not where it's not growing you, because you ended up uh, conforming to that space. If you're around 5 bums, you're gonna be the 6th. If you're around 5 geniuses, you're gonna be the 6th. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that you're in a space that's conducive to your values. That's helping you grow.
Damn it, we've lost the lead.
What? This is 3-3. And he's using that crazy class. Of course, I don't want to play with that dude. That gun, that's a cheater's gun. It literally just shoots out some type of metal card or something, and it floats all the way around the board. You just gotta shoot it once, and it'll just bounce and recoil off of everything until it hits somebody. That's crazy. But what? It was a verse I wanted. What was this? Romans. I think it's 8 and 4. No, let me look it up. "12 and 2." I knew it was even numbers, but Romans 12 and 2. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God." But it says, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith." For so, but that what So what it goes into, verse 4 says, "For as we have many members in one body, and all members have one, not the same office, so we being many are one body in Christ, and every member, and every one members of another." Meaning that we all have a purpose. So surround yourself with those that have your same values, so you can increase your production through your purpose. But that's a loose. I mean, I'm using that, but that what I just saw and experienced was a loose example of that. But at the very least, nonetheless, that was an example of that. You can exit a situation that you know it's not one of the same what you share as a value. This is not your office. I'm not a lazy person. I'm not negate like if when I first started playing that game mode. Now I'm just really explaining what my mind, my thought process is through these situations, um, because you could either do that or you could just not think about it and you know just keep going. Like in life, you could not sit back and logically deduce things to where you make sure that your stance as a foundational uh, perspective is valid. You could take the time out to do that, which is what I'm doing, or you could just keep moving and not think about anything, not put any thought, no process of thought to anything, and you could just keep going. Like, oh, yeah, this is a game. I'm just playing to have fun. I am playing to have fun, but I know my triggers. My triggers are that I hate confusion and I'm not lazy. So when I first learned how to play hard, actually I never played hardpoint. You know why I never played hardpoint? Because I didn't know how to play hardpoint. I wanted to get online. This is back since I always been playing Call of Duty. Listen, literally, this is my testimony on this. I love tac tactics. You get what I'm saying? You know, plans and stuff like that. Especially like fast plans, like a critical thinking, like something you have to have. You gotta create a solution on the spot, and it has to be efficient. Like I like that type of thing. That's what I thrive at. That's what gives me a sense of um, fun. It's what I dedicate that space to is like solving problems and figuring things out. That gives me a rush of like fun. So with that being said, since I've been in the military, learned how to shoot. I was shooting before, but I learned how to shoot in the military. Learned how to use tact and moving as a unit and stuff like that. Um, it was a something that I liked. I loved doing that. So once I started playing Call of Duty, I was in the military, maybe what 13 years ago now. I'm like, okay, I love this. I love playing Call of Duty because it gives me a sense of an alternative reality. But I'm actually using the same principles that I use in actuality. But I don't have to actually, die. I could just lose that round or lose whatever, but I could just plug it back in and go play another one. It doesn't. It gives me a sense of all the critical thinking uh, skills that I have. They're being put to use, but not in totality. Like for instance, if you're gonna manage a business and you find out you love managing businesses, and then they come out with a game where you can manage business, but the money isn't real. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you're managing the business, you could scale how you would like in theory. You could go to the extremes and see what would most likely happen. Because at the end of the day, this is an alternative version of reality. It's not actuality. So anything can really happen in reality still. But in actuality, you're not going to actually lose that money. That's what I'm saying on this game. I'm not actually going to lose my life. So it gave me that freedom it's like the arcadey feel. Like, oh, I really can use my skills and my mind and my abilities translated through my thumbs, but I don't have to care too much about the consequence. It's not that extreme. I can actually just let go of the thought process of including like the factors death, you know what I'm saying, of not being here, because this is, you could just go to the next one. With that being said, it's like, okay, my love for this game is pretty much infinite because I love to do these things. Now, that's just me. That's my experience. That's like, if I had a game, like if this was my game, I would make the player pool with everyone who has the same type of thought processes as the consumer. Like, so if I'm playing in my region as me, now I'm saying this and I know this is no way possible to be even done, but powers that be, 99.999 times are listening. So it might be something they might be able to implement. But me being me, like, I would have them take like a sort of a questionnaire, or if this possibility was at all plausible, I would think that they had some type of test that they could actually go in and consciously rip that info from like your brain or your memories or whatever, and see, okay, what is the situation that brings the most joy, that triggers the most emotions, and it's going to be, oh, he likes to think tactfully, he likes to strategically move, he likes to risk it for the biscuit. This is a game, this is an arcade, and he doesn't mind being on the team that does so. All right. With that being said, that's what I would do, theoretically speaking. But since they don't do that, it's like, okay, I understood that from back then when I played Call of Duty. When I started playing, it was like, okay, I love this game, but I don't like how complicated the other game modes are, because this is a shooting game. It's a first-person shooting game. So what you're thinking is a battle. So you got a gun, the other person got a gun. Even if you're on the team, you got a gun. Your teammates have a gun. The other teammates have guns. Your job is to get to the point. It's like basketball or a score or something, or anything, football, competitive thing. You got to score. You got to race to get to that score. Whoever gets to the score first wins. However you get it. If it doesn't matter if you slide, well, back then it didn't have sliding, or what type of way that you killed the person. It was everything worth 1 point. So it was just like, okay, I did that. I liked team deathmatch because it's team deathmatch. How many deaths you caused them to have? It got to get to, I think, 100 at that time, but 75 before y'all get y'all's deaths to 75. So stay alive and kill them. Right. That's the objective. Simple. There's no real communication that needs to be had. Everyone understands, I gotta kill the person before they kill me, and we gotta, as a collective, reach the points of 75 or 100 or whatever it was back then. That's the only thing that made sense. That was the only thing that arcade wise that I could enter into and say, okay, I'm gonna play this, and everyone else can play this, and I don't have to feel like I need to brief on what's going on, or like I need to educate somebody else on what's going on, because there was, I mean, we talked, there was a lot more communication in the game back then. That was the crazy part too. Everyone had mics, and it was just fun because we would just be talking like, damn, oh, or they over here. But that's how it is, and that was the most fun. Now thinking back, I think they did have different game modes, but I literally only played team deathmatch, and I just only played hardcore because it was more realistic. Because I remember thinking, like, you don't gotta shoot somebody 12 times um before you kill them, so it was more um believable to be just, okay, I'm aiming down this spot, somebody walk across and I shoot them, they dead. Other than they shoot them, I mean, I shoot them and then they got a chance to read and react. Now, I like to, like I said, I like to teach, so I like to give the information first to make the statement, the stance, more understandable. So now, fast forwarding to here, now 2025, 13 years later, 12, whatever. When I go to play the game and there is team deathmatch, now they have now where they have this right here where you have the filter and you can select different ones. You see here, I got all the filters. They have chaos. I don't even know what this is. 10v10. No, I don't want to do 10v10. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But everything else, I'll play. But this is what I'm saying. Like this, they didn't have this menu, but they have it now. But these hard point domination, they just introduced kill order. Search and destroy, no. Control, I don't really like that either. But I'm not sure. But I know for sure all I played back then was kill confirmed and team deathmatch. That was it. Only because, like I said, those were very simple. You know, kind of easy game modes. Now, I didn't take time to even ask. They didn't have public forums. Well, I'm pretty sure they did, but I wasn't interested in it. This was 12 years ago, y'all. So this is a lot less internet, a lot less information out there. Which was fine. Nobody saw it as a problem. But now, with all this accessibility, people might like, what? You live without Google and Reddit? And it's like, bro. But yeah, so no one taught me how to play those modes. I didn't have the patience to sit down and learn those. I didn't even want to. I wasn't like intrigued to. So I didn't. I just played those because they were fun. Now here you have it. I always played Call of Duty still. I played mostly for the past like 6, 7 years. Mostly I played Warzone. For real, for real. And then I would still play this because multiplayer because just to have it. Like I said, I really do love like first person shooting games where I'm in charge of like attacked. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that strategic, critically thinking plans. Now these modes here, hard point, domination. I even think control as well. These are more tact heavy game modes where it benefits to have a strategy. And when I say I didn't really know what was going on, I really didn't. I don't know how to explain that I didn't because I mean, like I said, nobody ever taught me or I didn't ask. So I just didn't care. But once I started realizing, oh, these are actual. I mean, I see people having fun on this. So I think I seen a video, um, and there was this team. Bro, they made it a thing for them to be for them to be down 200. Now, what is it? I think it's hardpoint. Yeah. They made it like a series where they would be down 249 to 0. And as a team, they kept coming back and winning. And I'm like, what the hell? And I remember maybe 5, 6 months ago, this is when I seen this video and I was like, wow, this is crazy because I was entertained. I was glued to the TV. I kind of binge watched maybe a whole day, just all of their content, seeing like how they started, like what they were doing. They was moving, but it was intriguing to me because, like I said, it scratched that tact. You know what I'm saying? The strategies that they used, it was crazy, but it was all because of communication. Now with that being said, I know I said a lot, and the whole point of me saying that was just to say that if there's not communication and there's like no order, then it is not fun. It's not the same as if when I was 12 years ago, just playing team deathmatch just to have fun, and it didn't matter if you communicated or not. This matters if you communicate or not, or at least have like be on the same page. So when we get into these game modes and then people are just not saying anything or not moving, that's when it's like, bro, they could just come in here and turn that bitch off. You know what I'm saying? Turn it off. But, I'm not naive enough to believe that I could convince people to do, proceed to party games. That's kind of dope. Convince people to do anything other than you know, what they've been through. Hold on, wait. You could filters? Oh, I thought you could filter that. I was about to say, man. Um, yeah. So that's all I had to say. You know, I know I said a lot, but I was just really trying to get y'all to understand that this isn't hard, and people go into these games and it's like, bro. So that's why I took the time to try to brief them, try to give them some information. Like, hey, what y'all got to do is really this. Nothing changed. It's like, man, get out of here. And if y'all can't get out of here, all right, I will. Because of these precepts that say this is the wisdom behind the precepts. But these wisdoms, you don't got to apply them and be like, this is making me holy. No, this is wisdom. Because the world will give you a instance to say, I'm going to do things the way the world says it. Or I'm going to do things the way the Bible says it. The way the world says it is crash out. Spaz on these niggas. Say the most random stuff to make people go, what? That's the way the world tells you. The way the word tells you is you can just get out of there. Surround yourself with like-minded people in the first place, and you'll put yourself in the best position to be wise, to show yourself wise, and to show all of this character building stuff that you've been working on. But if not, you're just going to be another whatever. You feel me? Nigga out here just crashing out. It's like, if you want to be a nigga out here just crashing out, that's on some young shit. Cool. That's not what I'm going to do, though. That's not what I'm going to be. That's not what I'm going to encourage anybody else to be.
He accelerated these free electrons through a positively charged anode down to his electromagnetic lens. As an electron approaches the lens, the magnetic field exerts a force on it. So if an electron is traveling in the Y direction and the magnetic fields are in the X direction...
I can't even see that right now.
Secure the objective.
Maybe.
Hostiles have the hard point. Hardpoint identified. Claim the advantage now.
I hate running out of bullets like that. 3 niggas in front of me just killed 20.
Hardpoint located. Capture the hardpoint.
selfie system?
Oh. Hey, Dad.
God, I thought that was my teammate. Molotovs is crazy, bro. I mean, did they overpower these? I couldn't get that reload for nothing, bro. I just kept trying to reload my grenade. Sure. Bro, what? Alright. Cool. Sure. couldn't even see, bro. I don't know. God. That was anything. I was trying to slide past the door and my teammate's there, so I bounced off of him. What? Dude. I know.
Hostiles have the hard point.
What just happened?
Hard point identified. Hard point locked down. Hard point active. Hostiles have the hard point.
Why do I keep snapping up?
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Alright, let's just get some classic points. There we go.
Stand down, Crimson.
Lorentz force
Jeez.
pushes it in the Z direction. But as the encounters focusing the beam.
Hey, you sound congested, my boy. You need to drink some tea, lemon and ginger,
The first working electron microscope.
hot tea.
It was pretty basic, made of brass. The image itself was created once the focus hit a single focal point. The sample needed to be incredibly thin, only around 1 millimeters thick. More electrons would make it through the thinner parts of the sample than the thicker parts, creating an electron imprint of the sample. Then a second electromagnetic lens magnified this imprint down onto a fluorescent detector, producing the final image. This was known as a transmission electron microscope, or TEM. Now, early versions of the microscope barely magnified at all. In fact, it wasn't even better than an optical microscope. But Ruska was determined. Over the next few years, he experimented with adding more lenses onto the microscope to create bigger and bigger images. By the mid-1930s, Ruska had gotten the TEM way past 10,000 times magnification. It could produce close-ups of insects, bacteria, and even viruses at a level far surpassing the optical microscope. But right as Ruska's TEM was taking off, a German physicist named Otto Scherzer published a paper claiming that the microscope was about to hit a brick wall. There was a flaw in the electromagnetic lens, he wrote, that was completely unavoidable. For an electron to make it to the focus of the lens, it needs to be deflected by a specific amount. If you simplify its trajectory, you can define that ideal deflection with this angle theta. This angle depends on the horizontal distance of the electron from the optical axis, and how far down the axis the focus is, also known as the focal length. The shorter the focal length, the stronger the magnification. If you graph this angle as a function of distance to the optical axis, you'll see that it can be approximated as linear. The problem is that the magnetic field doesn't scale linearly. It's much stronger near the edges of the magnet. So if you plot the curve for the actual deflection of the electrons, you'll see that the magnetic field over-deflects the electrons further out. Their angles are bigger than they should be, so they end up focusing before the rays in the middle. And as a result, they spread across the optical axis instead of being contained in a single point. The blur starts out as the edges of the image, but it gets worse with average magnification. This is called distortion, and it distorts every radially
Oh my God! Bro, I'm moving straight. Because my teammates there, I move to the side, I'm throwing my grenade, and then I die. I'm moving straight. He walked in front of me, bro.
Hardpoint located.
This is aggravating as hell, bro. This shit don't have to be.
Captured the hardpoint.
Man, what?
Hardpoint is secure. Captured the hardpoint.
He's doing a spray right there, huh? I guess.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint locked down.
You heard the thing say you are not allowed to stop playing? My character. I stopped moving. This nigga said. Damn. Come on, bro.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint located. They're right where we want them. Finish the job.
How? How? Where did...
Hardpoint is secure. You made it look easy.
All of that, and then I die in the corner. It's crazy.
Green glass also is a cancel out their effects, and that removes the aberrations almost entirely. Almost all modern lens systems in cameras and microscopes use some sort of correcting divergent lens. So you might imagine that the TEM simply needs its own version of a divergent lens. For magnets, this is physically impossible. Every magnet has two poles, a north and a south. It's impossible to just have one. Even if you split a magnet down the middle, it creates two smaller magnets, both north and south. And all magnetic field lines have to start at one pole and end at the other, forming a closed loop.
Is a direct result of the second Maxwell equations, because the field that you create has field lines that start and end at the same magnet. So the electrons will always cross through two lines. The first time it passes through by the Lorentz force, it's brought into a spiraling motion, and then the second time, from that spiraling motion, which has then a slightly different direction, it's pushed towards the axis. That's why all electromagnetic lenses by default will converge the beam and never diverge it.
Even if you shot electrons in from the other side of the lens, they would still get focused. This is what Otto Scherzer's paper proved in 1936, stopping progress on the TEM. It is impossible to produce a radially symmetric magnetic lens that diverges.
And this was, of course, a big roadblock for the development of electron microscopy, because people saw, okay, we can accelerate electrons as much as we want. The presence of the spherical aberration will always be in the way.
Because of this roadblock, advancements in the microscope's resolution slowed significantly. By 1955, another microscope beat the TEM to the punch and took the first generally accepted image of atoms. This was called the field ion microscope, and it worked by shooting helium or neon atoms at an atomically sharp needle tip. The tip was positively charged, so when the gas atoms hit the needle, they got ionized and were ejected off perpendicular to the surface. And that could form an impression of the atomic structure of the tip. But this...
Secure the objective. Hardpoint locked down. We're winning. Keep it that way. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secured.
This gun is trash, actually. Just kill us. No, you're good.
Hardpoint active.
What? Bro, I really hate saying what? like I'm a fucking child. That's what's aggravating. It's like I'm not even. I hate confusion, bro. The shit didn't make sense. Ooh. Okay. What? Alright, bro. That's incredible. Nigga got hit in the face with a grenade while he laying down. I hit him in the face with an impact grenade while he laying down. Hit marker. Alright. This game is just, I get it at this point. At this point, I get it. Say less.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint locked down.
Was limited. You could only get a sense of the atomic structure of the very tip of the needle. The images weren't all that impressive. Luckily, Reska's but sometimes you feel like it when you're It's a real problem when we're researching for our videos. I was reading up on lenses and optics, and a few days later, I started getting targeted ads for glasses and eye surgery. So someone out there is probably selling my browsing data. With your permission, Cogni will fight the data brokers on your behalf by finding out which at random with a more source. So instead of boiling electrons off the surface, he tried pulling them off with a stronger electric field. And by sharpening the tip to a fine tip, he was able to create a narrow beam which was over 1,000 times brighter.
How is the real Hebrew feeling right now? For those who want to know.
I mean, you know, all praise to the Most High, man. I got something called supernatural joy. Right, I got the joy down in my heart. You know, so we had New Year tonight, February 28th. And I come to find out that that's, you know, the day that a plot was launched against me in an attempt to destroy me. But on that same night, the Most High put an overwhelming spirit and calmness on me. So I've been here with a small.
On the Sabbath, he's like, oh, these about to perform a miracle on the Sabbath day, but we got to keep the Sabbath, right? Correct. So they were looking at him, and Jesus totally broke their culture of keeping the Sabbath. No, that's not true. And you
just said that.
Dominate. Capture the objective.
we had to just.
Securing Alpha. Losing Bravo. Secure. Claim the advantage. Now hold it. We're losing Charlie.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Oh my God. Come on, bro. I got a feeling that's the same. Crouched over like that. Over here crouching. Okay.
Losing Bravo.
Yeah. Over here. Let me see the people. I had a feeling. I'm like my teammate right here. He reloading. I don't need to reload.
They're taking C.
There's no way. I'm like.
Control zone C.
Oh, bro, what the fuck is you doing? This nigga gonna lay outside of the door. Bro, I'll tell you.
Shit, I captured it, dog. What you talking about? Man, my fuck,
Nigga laid
can't
outside
hold
the door.
on. Hey, I killed a motherfucker, and I captured it. Well, I don't know what happened to you.
Nah, you wasn't nowhere. I ain't even talking about you. You wasn't, the person I'm talking about wasn't nowhere near the zone. Ain't no way you captured where you was at. That nigga just laid in front of the door. Oh, I guess you did. You right here? Yeah, that was some hell shit. It was niggas right there in front of there. Right there in the door.
Oh, I don't even know. I thought you talking about me. I saw somebody run up and got killed right beside me. Damn. There's one in the back of that truck on their side.
Taking B.
I couldn't hold on a second. It's crazy work.
Uh-huh.
Losing Bravo.
That motherfucker in the back of that truck.
Losing B.
they want to see bad, bro. You getting B?
Hold your position. Losing Bravo.
No, they ain't.
Losing Bravo.
Oh, damn.
Hostile LDBR dropped.
Somebody don't get silent ball out the back of the truck.
I just burnt so many of them up on video.
Feel that? They're about to break. Give them a nudge.
There ain't no hard point in the back of that truck, Silent Bob.
He was all hanging out.
All kills, no objective.
I'm still confused. This nigga said I couldn't hold my own.
And we have to also be mindful that the way in which we walk around, are we
Dog.
exalting and are we edifying the people that see us and the people that look at us and the people that look to us for guidance, instruction, influence? Are we giving them the idea, the proper idea that they can repent, that they can fulfill the will of the Lord, to then be saved, to then receive praise and promise? Like Papa said, act like your stuff don't stink. Watch this. Your stuff might not stink. You know what I'm saying? There's a possibility that your stuff might not stink. But don't act as though it will never stink. There's no possibility for it to stink, right? But those that are following us and those that are listening to us and those that learn from us, are we giving them the proper understanding that they can fulfill things? It's not too many people, man, especially from the viewer's side, right, that are comfortable enough going into and expounding on what that 2 type of week looked like. Not too many people that do that. Every time I hop on class on Friday, I'm like, yeah, man, I had a 1 type of week, man. The Lord just been great. You know, he ain't taking me through nothing. You know, I didn't trip, stumble. I didn't fall. I ain't messed up. Again, nothing on me stinks. It gives off a discouraging method, right? It's counter-exhorting. It becomes something that makes people stir away. And now you find yourself someone who felt like they could not stink, never has stunk, never has stumbled or fallen. You've now found yourself in a position where you're offending the little one.
Another day in paradise.
why, bro, every time I spawn in, I'm fucking up like that.
Losing broad. Securing zone A. Let's leave with this objective. Objective. We're losing out.
17-3. And I already felt like, nah, I've been out here too long anyways. And with that, man, all praise to the Most High. Pray everyone enjoyed. That was just looking crazy already off bat. Like, bro, 17-3. Like when we couldn't get, like I said, point B, and I'm not about to go through the whole spiel again. Like I gotta brief. I'm like who? Like I gotta brief somebody. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, let's go to B or nothing like that. Like, bro, we ain't gonna do nothing. But yeah, nobody was taking nothing, and then this nigga was 17-3. It felt like troll. Like I was gonna just go through with that game. But with that being said, understand your place, understand your role. Yeah, I'm gonna read. Actually, I'm gonna go back to Romans, and I'm gonna read chapter 12. I'm gonna start at verse 9. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Again, these are admonition. This is wisdom from the brother Paul as well. But it's wisdom to be wise. It's saying to know yourself and then go to those that are efficient in places that you feel you are lacking in. Based off your, you know what I'm saying, your examination. When you examine yourself and then you see, oh, I'm lacking here, or I'm low in these qualities as far as how tainted I am with the world. Like the Most High don't gotta tell me to be disciplined. I'm already efficient in that area. So one, I'm gonna surround myself with more efficient people. And two, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have people around that thrive to be disciplined, but they don't have the necessary, tools that I can help them. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be able to lift my brother up in that area. Also, when I examine myself, I see that I am tainted and not as efficient spiritually, righteously with my temper. So I know I don't want to be around people that are in that same boat. I want to be around people that are have more spiritual control over their temper. So I can learn from them, and that's a trusted source. You know what I'm saying? So I can read these precepts and understand what righteously I should do concerning my temper. And I can understand righteously when I read these things. Oh, I don't fit this build as I currently am. In my current state, I'm lacking in this temper area. I could be better. I should be better. What I could do to be better is surround myself with brothers that are sincere and that are efficient and effective at teaching, but efficient at teaching, at being, and effective at teaching the things I need to learn as far as temper goes, which is patience. You get what I'm saying? Now that's it's like a slippery slope because I'm very patient. I just have low patience for bullshit, and that's when my temper flares up. But I can extend that patience by, like I said, being around people that are used to dealing with bullshit, and then the perspectives that they share that I get from them, that's what I adopt, and I can correlate it with the scriptures to understand that it's righteous, and I have no problem conforming. You get what I'm saying? But that's being renewed by the Spirit. Being renewed by the Spirit is understanding the wisdom behind the scriptures and then applying it. So yeah, man. With that being said, continue to endure. Continue to examine yourself, and then put off the old ways, put off the flesh, the ways of the old, and put on the new, the ways of the spirit, and continually do this. Matter of fact, I'll read this whole thing. I'm gonna read chapter 12, really, pretty much this whole thing. So just sit back and relax. It's gonna be a whole chapter, but it's a dope chapter. Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we being many are one body in Christ, and every one members of another. So like, yeah, I'm butchering this. I need to slow down. I'll read verse 5 again. So we being many are one body in Christ, and every one members one of another. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth, with diligence. He that he that showeth mercy, with cheerfulness. I don't know why I was about to say cleverness. I'm holding the Bible down, and I'm like halfway in the dark, so I can like barely see. Verse 9, let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, and honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. All this is fire. Distributing to the distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you. Woo! Bless them which persecute you. Not render evil for evil, not get back. Like the brother was saying on the video, not thinking my shit don't stink. Not sitting up here high and mighty. No. Bless them which persecute you. Why? Because you consider yourself, as Galatians says. Right? Knowing that you could be given over to temptations at the same time, but at the same time understanding that the Most High is giving that person whatever trial that they're going through that's affecting them negatively, making them see themselves in a negative light. That could be you used to be able to perform this wisdom of the scriptures, the mercies necessary, to tell them, hey bro, but this following that protocol, hey bro, you relax. You offended me with this, da 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 da. And then if they hear you, you've gained a brother, but at the same time you give them that examination where they can reflect back on that instance to say, I was out of pocket here. I need to be better here. But you're doing that for them, but it's you just being patient and blessing them that persecutes you. You get what I'm saying? You're not helping. The Most High don't need you. But you're causing things to go the way that they will. The Most High's will be done regardless. So, I don't even like to explain how applying these scriptures makes things go, because the Most High is going to do whatever he want to do regardless. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's that. But at the same time, you want to use this wisdom with this perception of reality that we have, and give the Most High's praise in every instance, even when you don't feel like it. That's why this is saying, bless them which persecute you. When somebody's persecuting you, nobody's going to sit around and be like, yeah, bro, no, it's fine. I always feel like blessing the Most High. When you're getting persecuted, that could be from the extreme of a thorn of crowns, or it could be just somebody talk about you. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's you blessing them. That means you're not paying attention to whatever they got going on, because you're being used when you're going off in your effed up states. When you're sitting there doing things that you know are better. But all right, I'm gonna use myself for instance. For example, for instance, if I'm sitting here, I know I'm supposed to love my brother, da, 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 but then I get mad at them because I lose my patience, and then I start going off on them. I could have been more patient. I should have been more patient. The Bible tells me to be more patient. That's wisdom. I want to glorify the Most High, so I want to use wisdom with all my doings, but I fell in that instance. My flesh got over me, and then I just started going crazy. Now, I didn't murder my brother, but that's the same thing as in murder my brother. That's the same thing as in hating my brother, is not using wisdom when dealing with my brother or my sister or anything. The Bible is strict. The Most High has given us strict instructions on how to deal with His earth. This is His world. We're just given the tools. We're given the task and the tools to be able to run it, to manage it. But we have to start in-house first. We got to manage ourselves first. So with that being said, we got to apply this wisdom, because we have all the tools necessary. And He's not going to put you in a position where you're not able to, do what He's requiring you to do. So in that instance, if I lose my temper, I got to repent from that. I go back and then I tell whoever I offended, the brother or the sister, Salakia. But that only comes if I'm examining myself. Now, pin that and think about this. What if I never examine myself and then I never address it? Then the only instance other than that could be something that the Most High had me deal with. But the only other way for righteousness to prevail is for that person to bless them that persecute you, and for that person to say, you know what, I'm gonna be the bigger person here. I'm gonna go by the protocol, and I'm gonna go to that brother and tell him he offended me. Like, reach out to me, hey bro, you offended me when you did this and that. Now if I hurt him, I gained a brother. Now if I don't hear him, be like, you weak as hell. Now that blood is off of their hands, but that's the protocol. Now it's nothing else to do. The Most High will deal with me accordingly. If I never address what I need to address to be able to give Him His glorification, that is on me. That's working out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's something that I would need to have addressed, but I will never address it if I don't examine myself. And at the same time, if that person doesn't go by the wisdom of the scriptures, then that might have been their test as well. So if somebody does something to you, think about it like the Most High is using them to test you, but at the same time He's using them to correct themselves. But it's all for His glorification. It's above our level of comprehension. So I don't want to confuse you, but I just want to let you understand that this is what the Most High is requiring us to do, to how to act. So bless them that persecute you. Verse 14, bless them that persecute you, bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. So that's saying a lot right there. Be of the same mind one toward another, meaning, be on the same page. Mind not high things. That's meaning like don't think above yourself. Don't think, not saying like you can't have good things, but don't place your treasures here on earth. Mind not high things, meaning like don't go all over the board, over the top, just to obtain something that is noticeably rich here on earth. Like, mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Condescend Let's look up what that definition means. Because I think I know what it means, but I don't want to speak unless I'll look it up first. Condescend says, show feelings of superiority, be patronizing. Do something in a haughty way as though it is below one's dignity or level of importance. And you know what's crazy is I looked this word up earlier. I literally did because I was talking to another brother about it. Well, I was actually commenting on Cesariak's post. And I said that he acted condescending. So that's why I'm like, I know what it means. But in this instance, what it says, mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. I guess that's saying like, when somebody's low, you pull them up by understanding that you can show them they're looking at it wrong. There's a higher way to look at this. Like the perspective is not, oh, woe is me. The perspective is, I'm a God. Look at how much trouble I'm going through just to put how many instances I have to be able to correct my issues. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like all of these practice tests before the actual real thing. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like instead of saying, man, I keep failing the test and all of these tests I'm getting, I'm failing, and like whoa, it's like nah, you know. So patronizing, I guess, like in a positive way to build that person up. So to condescend of men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits, meaning again that don't think that you know everything just because you know something and feel it strongly. That doesn't mean that you know it. Bring it out of the Bible and be able to build on it on the foundation of the scriptures. Verse 17, recompense no man evil for evil, provide things honest in the sight of all men. Again, don't be evil for evil, because that's not what the scriptures say. That's not even God. Like, it's not on us to get back. So, oh yeah, and provide things honest in the sight of all men, meaning that in all your dealings, be upfront, be upright. That shouldn't even be a like, you shouldn't have to tell nobody that. But the crazy thing about it is a lot of people that just are genuinely like sneaky, and it's crazy. It's crazy because I never got that. Like I always been, and I can say this because I know I'm being honest. I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm like this astute person. Like, no, I'm not. I'm just, I know I've always been upfront. Like as far as honesty, I would just tell whatever the truth was just to get it out the way, because I'm not about to lie. Because you got to lie to cover another lie, and then lie, and that's wasting way too much brain space. Way too much brain space built on a lie, because you got to actually remember the truth and then the lie, because you can't tell the truth. So you got to remember what it was and then say what it wasn't. But then you got to remember the details of what you said it was. And that's like in every instance. And then you got to tell another lie to cover it. Like, bro, nah, I'm not. No. So I always been just logically, literally, I always thought of it like that. Like, I'm not, nigga, I don't care. I don't care who defends or what happens, because people fuck up. And I'm not going to lie about fucking up, because everybody fuck up. I'm not scared about being looked at as fucking up. I'm a regular ass person. The fuck? Now, if it's like morally wrong or something, then I'll apologize, but I'll do whatever I need to do after that. I'm going to just tell the truth first, because that's just crazy. But you should be upright in all things. That's what that's saying, in the sight of all men. And verse 18, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. At the same time, yes, stay out the way. Don't be involving yourself in all this drama. Dearly beloved, verse 19, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore, if thine enemies hunger, feed them. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals on fire on his head. Man, that's basically saying that you you really gonna put them in a position to where they gotta feel like they owe you something. You know, like if they offended you, and then you be like, man, that's crazy. I still love you though, bro. Look, you hungry? And then they don't even care. They not trying to acknowledge it. And then even if you say to them, all right, you offended me, and then they don't hear you, then you just put them on the other side of the room. You don't pay attention to them. But then you see them trip, and then like break their leg, and you like help them up. You give them something to walk on, like a little cane or something. You make sure they good, and then they still holding that grudge. They just heaping fires on their own head, heaping coals on their own head through the fire. Like they just making it harder for themselves. But you just showing the love of the Most High. You moving in wisdom, and that's what we all should do. Strive for that. Now I don't, like I said, I don't understand why people it's so hard to not understand what the Bible is asking us to do. I think it's just a place of pride that they come from, that to say, oh yeah, no, that's not what this is meaning. Like what? This is very clear. The Most High is saying to love them that hate you. I mean, what else? It don't got to be a certain. It's not just saying, oh, just the people in your nation. That's not saying that. No, it's we're here to run the world. Of course, there will be other nations that hate us and do us wrong here because we're not in our rightful position. But when the righteous are in the righteous are in authority, the people are at peace. So there will be no hate. You get what I'm saying? In the kingdom, so of course you won't have to even think about it then. But here, obviously, everybody hates us. Just like in the kingdom, everybody will love us. There will be all peace and order. So to miss the opportunity to extend peace and graciousness and humility to everything here right now in this instance, that's foolish to me. Like I would never teach that. That's crazy. But there are people here that choose to do so. Like I said, I think it's because of pride, because it's like it keeps the drama on. Instead of moving past it with a solution, like a resolution, you just like that's the thing about solutions and resolutions. They're no longer problems. But the thing that drives the world is drama and issues. So if there's a social construct, uh, like if there's a narrative today, it's based on the social construct of drama. Like it's all based on like, well, who did it, or why, or da da da. But then even if you get there, that's like the climax. It's like, but it just resolves at the climax. No one wants to go past it to get to the resolution, like the wind down, and then the diminishing of. It's not nothing there, but that's what we are called to do. That's adverse from the world. That's why it starts out is be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means come out of the ways of the world, stop doing what they are doing, and do what the Bible is telling us to do, which is adverse from their doings, which is a narrow road. There's not many people there that walk therein, but it's worth it because it leads you to your mansion in the kingdom of heaven, which is right there on the same street with Christ. So if you want to get there, this is the address, this is the blueprint, the navigation on how to get there. So verse 21, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. And with that, man, all praise to the Most High. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, the so-called blacks, so-called Native Indians and Americans, and the so-called Hispanics, Latinos, Dominicans of the world, and black is just a color, and all of those other things are social constructs. These are labels that this world has given us, and they're not who we are. We are the Israelites. When you read the Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 28, and the whole chapter, verse 1 through 14, 15, starts showing you what it will be, the world will be like when the Israelites do obey the commandments that the Most High gave them. But also verse 16 through 68 shows the curses and the state that the Israelites would be in this world, and how the world would be if the Israelites didn't obey. So when you read that, and then you actually see the state of our people, those people the people groups I just named, and you just correlate the two, it is plain that we are the Israelites, that we had fell from our position, our rightful position of, you know, God's on earth, and now we're the lowest on the earth, but we're actually in the times of the prophecies where we're in the end times where knowledge is increasing and we are coming back to our heritage and understanding that we are God's chosen people and we're choosing to be separate like the word says. This is just prophecies being fulfilled. This is not our world. This is his world and we're just living in it. This is a play. It's already been scripted out. It's already actually happened. And then the Most High saw it to be good and he saw it fit to for his pleasure. So he just said, do it again. You know, so we're doing it all over, but it's for him to get the glorification. Wait on it. Stay in the spirit. Build yourself up with these precepts and these scriptures and wait on the Most High to do his thing because he always will and he always does. And with that, all praise to the Most High. Stay in the spirit. Continue to endure all things for the hopeful election's sake. And have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. This is an early stream for me. I actually overslept and didn't get a chance to go into work. So I just chose to stream because I was up. And I'm about to just get my day started and go back to sleep and work again tonight. So I probably won't stream for the rest of the week or whatever. But I hope everybody, and I pray everyone has a blessed rest of the week. Until I see this, maybe this weekend, I'll see you guys again. Until then, peace, shalom, stay in the spirit. And if you have any questions, always, like I say, my IG is BARZAYAH_Judah, JUDAH. But I'm the only Barzai on YouTube or anything. I make music as well. So if you want to go to SoundCloud, you can look me up. Yeah. But if you have any questions about anything I just said, or if you are a Bible believer and you have any questions, or just a person, just in general, or if you just want to talk, I'm really here for our people, for the Most High's people. So if you need me, that's where you reach me. BIGBAR. My Instagram is BARZAYAH. Yeah, but with that, man, all praise to the Most High, stay in the spirit. Till the next time, shalom.